You know, Shirish Mishra, the results of Madhya Pradesh were a little confounding to begin with. And one factor which perhaps has played a contributing role apart from Ladli Behna and the women coming out and voting was perhaps this polarization aspect or counter polarization aspect. Because irrespective of what Kamal Nath might have done in Madhya Pradesh, by and large, the Congress party, be it in Telangana, be it in Karnataka, seems to be still playing that minority appeasement card. You are there in Bhopal. Do you get a sense that this has happened? That there was an element of counter polarization? Before I go back to Sanju Verma and ask her question about what Tariq Ahmed Lari is saying on that issue?
Abhishek, I am based at Raipur and you are not audible in between. Please repeat your question.
Okay, Shirish Mishra, you are in Raipur, and my question is that did counter polarization happen in states like Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, going by the perception that goes with the Congress party that it indulges in appeasement politics?
Yes, it was a factor in Madhya Pradesh, especially in Madhya Pradesh. There is a good amount of minority population, and as far as Malwa, Bhopal and Jabalpur, some of the areas of Mahakaushal, there is a good population of minorities. So the Congress leader, those who are in the election campaign, they try to appease minorities. ऐसा दिखा सब जगह भी वहां पर खासतौर पर as far as Indore is concerned, Malwa is concerned, because BJP has a strong hold in Malwa. Just because Congress is appeasing minorities in these areas. For Mahakaushal, I'm belonging to Jabalpur, that is my hometown, and I know there are Congress leaders, especially Digvijay Singh. मुझे कहने में कोई संकोच नहीं है कि कांग्रेस की जो क्षरण हुआ है, जो कांग्रेस का डिग्रेडेशन हुआ है, जो कांग्रेस का वहां पर उनका जो होल्ड कम हुआ है, उसके लिए मुझे लगता है कि वन वाज अर्जुन सिंह एंड अनदर वाज दिग्विजय सिंह, जिनके कारण कांग्रेस को बहुत नुकसान होता है. कमलनाथ ट्राइड अ लॉट, और यदि कमलनाथ को पूरा फ्रीडम मिलता या उनको उनके काम में हस्तक्षेप नहीं किया जाता तो हो सकता है परिणाम बहुत अच्छे होते. कमलनाथ इज ए गुड लीडर, एंड जो बात कर रहे हैं कि लोगों की, तो उनका बड़ा फेथ है कमलनाथ में, क्योंकि वो जो बोलते हैं वो करते हैं, वो कमिटमेंट के लिए जाने जाते हैं और उनके ऊपर कोई इस तरह की बातें नहीं है. तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने जो किया और भारतीय जनता पार्टी के वोटर्स ने किया, वो इसलिए किया.
What you are suggesting is contrary to perception. What you are suggesting is contrary to perception, because the Congress party grapevine is that too much freedom was given to Kamal Nath, and that's why they lost, because they did not actually work as a team. But hold on. But I will take this time permission from Tariq Ahmed Lari and ask you a follow-up question. With permission of Tariq Ahmed Lari, my follow-up question to you is, because you are saying, thankfully there is some appreciation of humor on the panel, and you know,
my God,
finally, okay. So my counter question to you is, we are talking about polarization. Yesterday.
Now should I cry?
Yesterday, there was this report from Sihor district of Madhya Pradesh. Samina B, she filed a complaint and FIR with police in the Ahmedpur police station that she was beaten up by her family members because she voted for the BJP. Now, if it's just Hindu-Muslim polarization, then what Sanju Verma is saying is right and what Tariq Ahmed Lari is saying is right. But it seems there is a different polarization also happening in Indian politics, which is about good governance versus bad governance, where Samina B wants to stand on the side of good governance, even if she has to go against the wishes of her family. Right? Shirish Mishra, that has happened on the ground.
You're not audible properly.
Abhishek, may I please come in for a bit?
Okay, so Sanju Verma, you know, I think there is some audio issue. PCR, please fix the audio issue with Mr. Shirish Mishra. And Sanju Verma, so I have two questions. One from Shyam Prasad Meka, I am channelizing to you, and the second from Tariq Ahmed Lari. From Shyam Prasad Meka, it was that, okay, fine, we are not that much into electoral politics. We are about people's sentiment. We are about taking people together. That was his response to the BJP being an election machine. And Tariq Ahmed Lari, of course, gives the example of your two Rajasthan MLAs, the Hawa Mahal MLA and one other, in making it an example of how you have polarized and you will continue to polarize going into general elections.
Okay, I heard both of them, and Abhishek, I will not start crying on national TV. आप चाहो तो आप श्याम प्रसाद मेका जी उनसे भी आप एक बार परमिशन ले लो, ताकि हिसाब बराबर रहेगा कि सभी पॉलिटिकल जो यहाँ पर पैनलिस्ट है सबसे आपने एक बार परमिशन ले ली है.
परमिशन दे दिया.
Thank you. Okay, now coming to the
बराबर है. बोलिए.
Okay, thank you. You know, I think Shyam Prasad Meka made a pertinent point, but I beg to disagree. I will tell you why. I will not, simply talk about the hackneyed argument that यदि आप राजनीति में हो और आप कहते हो हमें सत्ता में कोई रुचि नहीं है, हम सिर्फ जन सेवा करना चाहते हैं, आप सत्ता में होगे तभी आप जन सेवा कर पाएंगे. You need to be in the hot seat of power to be able to translate ideas into action. Otherwise, your ideas will continue to remain on paper. They will simply remain a paper tiger. That is my point number one. But the more important point is this. आप यदि, in fact, I want to also say this, that कई जगह polarization के बावजूद, if you notice उत्तर प्रदेश में कितनी मुसलमान जनता है, लगभग 20-21 करोड़ है टोटल जनता, and Muslim population is लगभग 4 करोड़, which means 20% of उत्तर प्रदेश's population is Muslims. And despite that, लोकसभा 2014 में हमको 73 सीटें मिली, लोकसभा 2019 में हमें 62 सीटें मिली, फिर 2022 में, despite people saying that Yogi Adityanath is never going to come to power, we had a 41% plus vote share. Despite the likes of Swami Prasad Maurya leaving us, लोग कहने लगे अरे स्वामी प्रसाद मौर्य ने छोड़ दिया, अभी तो बीजेपी की हालत खराब हो जाएगी उत्तर प्रदेश में. We still managed to win 255 seats. समाजवादी पार्टी ने पिछली बार 2017 में इनको लगभग 22% वोट शेयर मिला था. इस बार समाजवादी पार्टी को 2022 में 32% वोट शेयर मिला. बट फिर भी वोट शेयर 10% बढ़ने के बावजूद समाजवादी पार्टी का भी वही हाल था. They were not able to convert that 32% vote share into seats. That is why the BJP got 255 and the Samajwadi Party was reined in or contained in at 111 seats. But moving beyond that to Shyam Prasad Meka's more important point, मैं सिर्फ इन्हें बड़ी विनम्रता से बताना चाहती हूं. This time in Madhya Pradesh, 18 lakh नई महिला voters were added to the voting rolls. Instead of 2.41 crore, this time there were 2.72 crore women voters. And I am told that in all the regions where women voters were in excess of their male counterparts, BJP made a clean sweep. वैसे ही राजस्थान में पाली और झालोर एरिया में, which is women centric, BJP made a clean sweep. फिर आप ओबीसी सेंट्रिक सीट्स देखिए. मध्य प्रदेश में 67 ओबीसी सीट्स में से बीजेपी गॉट 51. In Chhattisgarh, out of 29 OBC seats, we got 21. And in Rajasthan, out of 107 OBC seats, we got 58. The reason I'm giving you the example of women voters, OBC voters, and in fact in Chhattisgarh, out of 33 tribal seats, we got 24. तो मैं ये कहना चाहती हूं, be it women voters, be it tribals, be it OBCs, जिस तरह का हमको बहुमत मिला है वो तभी हो सकता है when the organizational strength has translated on the ground and a mass connect ensures that the BJP simply does not win, but it wins with a thumping majority, cutting across political classes, cutting across the caste calculus, and if you want to call it social engineering, be that as it may, the fact is the massive mandate in Madhya Pradesh is a precursor of what is going to happen in 2024 में. तो मोदी जी तीसरी बार बहुमत के साथ आएंगे. अभी कांग्रेस को 2034 की तैयारी करनी होगी, 2029 भी हमारा है।